discussing.
Welcome to MP Music World.
We've been discussing
Bluetooth mode.
intro of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we've been discussing the 29th chapter. Okay, and that is where we stopped off last time. So just do a quick summary, and then we can jump into the rest of the chapter. Okay, so last time when we discussed, we heard about how Devahuti, the mother of Lord Kapila Dev, she has heard from him about Sankhya yoga, Sankhya philosophy, about yoga, and then again she wishes to hear about bhakti and its different types. So last time we discussed about bhakti practiced in the three modes. It is not that bhakti is in sattva guna, bhakti is in rajo guna. No, the practitioner of bhakti could be in sattva guna, could be in rajo guna, could be in tamo guna, and accordingly his performance, his or her performance of bhakti will be tinted, मतलब वो color उसको लग जाएगा of bhakti. So that is the concept. And then we discuss pure bhakti which is causeless and uninterrupted bhakti, which is that it's not that I am doing bhakti to you Krishna, for you Krishna, so that you improve my material situation. फिटूस, मैं भक्ति कर रहा हूं, आप मेरे लिए कुछ अच्छा कर देख रहे हो ना, ध्यान से यार, सब मैं अच्छे से कर रहा हूं. No, pure bhakti means anya abhilashita shunya jnana karmadi anavritam. There is no place anya abhilashita shunya. There is no place for any even spiritual ambition, what to speak of material. Spiritual में कोई desire नहीं है कि ऐसा नहीं कि like we discussed that the person doesn't even want liberation, the 5 types of liberation, तो वो भी नहीं चाहिए. So their bhakti is just naturally flowing towards the Supreme Lord. A pure devotee, the bhakti is flowing naturally towards the Supreme Lord, just like the river Ganges flows towards the ocean, forcefully, without interruption. And even if there is anything that comes in the way, any obstacles के ऊपर से या साइड से कहीं से निकल जाएगी. Ganga will not stop for anything. So the pure devotee, their devotion is like that. It is uninterrupted by anything. Okay. So then after this, okay, in the next 4 verses from 15 to 18, verse number 15 to 18, Lord Kapila Dev describes how devotional service is practiced. Okay, it's important for us to understand devotional service in practice. Okay, whatever we are doing, we may be doing our duty, we may be working in some company, we may be working in some business of our own, we may be homemakers, we may be retired, we may be doing anything, whatever activities we are doing, regardless of one's duties, okay, nature of one's duties, okay, uh, devotional service can be practiced by anyone. In the past we have discussed many times that the process of jnana yoga, jnana, where one studies the scriptures scrutinizingly and then based on that distinguishes what is material, what is spiritual, and moves towards what is spiritual. This is not easy for any ordinary person like you and me. अपने लिए difficult है वो. शास्त्र समझो, संस्कृत क्या लिखा है वो समझो, understanding the interpretation of what is mentioned over there. It's very difficult. Everybody cannot do it. Very tough. Similarly, dhyana yoga, the yoga that is mentioned, that yoga is also very difficult. Renouncing your family, going to the forest, living there, first practicing, we discussed the different stages of yoga. Very tough. Ordinary आदमी, आम आदमी ये कर ही नहीं सकता. It's impossible for the ordinary person to do any of these things. But bhakti can be done by anybody, and that is what in these 4 verses 15 to 18 very nicely, Kapila Dev kind of summarizes what are the activities of bhakti. Very nicely he summarizes, and Prabhupada in his purports also very nicely he gives beautiful purports on this. So we'll try and cover these 4 verses today. And I was thinking for a chapter complete karte hain, but once I started reading these verses, I realized that ये mumkin nahi hai. It is not possible to complete the whole chapter because this is very important. So first, Srila Prabhupada, in this 15th verse, what Lord Kapila Dev is saying is, regardless of the nature of one's duties, one should perform them regularly. Meaning, इसका है क्या? श्री ध्रुव उवाच. So, regardless of one's duties, whatever one's nature of one's duty is, one should perform them regularly. भक्ति यही से शुरू हो जाता है. तो ना इनमें से अरे डूइंग माय ड्यूटी का भक्ति से क्या कनेक्शन है? What is the connection between bhakti and just doing one's duty? Anybody would like to comment? Just doing your duty. You are a father, doing duty of father. You are a husband, doing duty of husband. You are a son, doing duty of son. You are a manager in HPCL, doing duty of HPCL. You are a manager in Tata Power का duty करो. Just doing your duty. How is this connected to bhakti? Anybody would like to comment? Huh? Yad karoshi yad ashnashi. So yeah, if we are doing it in that mood, then yes. But even if we are not fully knowing the purport of Bhagavad Gita, see, Bhagavad Gita, this is one of the root verses, one of the essential verses. Yad karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhosi, dadasi yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tad kurushva madarpana. It's one of the root verses, बहुत important verse है, where Krishna is making a statement, yad karoshi, whatever you do, yad ashnashi, whatever you accept, means whatever you eat, whatever clothes you wear, whatever laptop you buy, whatever house you buy, whatever car you buy, whatever you may accept. You accept a husband, you accept a wife, you accept children, whatever you may do, do it as an offering to me. Tat kurushva madarpanam. Okay, Krishna is making a very outrageous statement. As I last time also we discussed, some statements that Krishna makes in the Gita are outrageous. मतलब अगर किसी को पता नहीं है कि कृष्णा कौन है, वो पढ़ेंगे तो बोलेंगे ये क्या है, कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं तो. That aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. If you don't know who is Krishna, you read Bhagavad Gita, you will be bewildered. You will not understand anything. You need to understand who is Krishna. But what is being spoken here is that whoever we may be, whatever position of life we may be in, okay, if we do our duty, whatever it may be unpleasant, sometimes our duty is not pleasant, we don't enjoy it, हमको वो काम करना अच्छा ही नहीं लगता. Parenting is not an easy process. It can be very unpleasant at times. Being a husband, being a wife can be unpleasant at times. Working in an office where there is heavy politics, all kinds of people plotting against you and trying to pull you down. No, not nice, not fun. Nobody enjoys it. But what is Krishna telling Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita? Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You do your duty regardless. Sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Whatever situation, you continue doing your duty. Do it as an offering to me. That's it. So Prabhupada encourages very beautifully over here. He guides. He says, Prabhupada encourages devotees as he guides them to serve Krishna from whatever position fate has awarded you. Fate may not have been very kind to you. Sometimes we see that some people have a very nice, comfortable life. Some people have a very miserable life. Very miserable. मतलब पैदा होते ही उनको खाली मिजरी ही देखने को मिला है. They have not got happiness, right? So Prabhupada is saying that whatever position fate has awarded you, if you are sincerely doing your duty as an offering to Krishna, that is bhakti. मतलब और भी है भक्ति में, और कुछ करने ऐसा बहुत कुछ है. But if you're simply doing your duty for pleasure of Krishna, chalo my Lord, I am not enjoying this, I'm not happy with this, but this is my situation. You have put me in this situation. By destiny, I am placed in this situation. All right, I'll do my duty sincerely. Whatever it is, I'll do it. Right. So Prabhupada says everyone's prescribed duty is glorious. Everyone's prescribed duty is glorious if it is performed in devotional service of the Lord without desire for profit. Now, this is another interesting thing. If we are doing what we are doing, what duty we are doing, all of us do our duty, why? We desire for profit. Why do we do anything in this world? Because we are looking to gain something out of it. जो भी कर रहे हैं इसलिए कर रहे हैं ताकि ये करने से मेरा क्या लाभ होगा, व्हाट्स इन इट फॉर मी. हम यही सोच रहे हैं कि ये करने से अगर मैं ये प्रोजेक्ट अच्छे से करूंगा तो मेरे को प्रमोशन मिलेगा, मैं ये टास्क जो बॉस ने दिया है अच्छे से करूंगा तो माय बॉस विल बी वेरी हैप्पी, विल गिव मी इंक्रीमेंट नेक्स्ट ईयर, राइट. आई विल डू दिस जॉब वेरी नाइसली इन द हाउस सो दैट घर में पीस बना रहे, my wife will be happy with me, my husband will be happy with me, so let me maintain peace in the house. So we are all doing things with desire for profit. If we are doing what we are doing with desire for profit, meaning I will gain from this, ये करने से मेरा फायदा होगा, that is not bhakti. But if that same duty we are doing as a duty, that whatever is our prescribed duty, if you are doing it in devotional service of the Lord, that my Lord, I am doing this for your pleasure, and whatever you give me from this, I accept it. You give me yash देते हो, very good. अपयश देते हो, वो भी ठीक है, क्या करें? I have done my best. It's actually beautiful in one sense. The Bhagavad Gita gives us the intelligence with which we deal with this world. Otherwise, we will always be miserable, no? You think that I am doing my duty, लेकिन यार मेरा जैसा चाहिए वैसा चल नहीं रहा है. Things are not going as per what I wanted. Things are going पूरा विपरीत जा रहा है. We will always be miserable. But if we see the philosophy of Gita that you do your duty for pleasure of Krishna without any desire for profit, that I will just do my duty for the sake of doing duty. Then Krishna wants to give me profit, he gives me. He wants to give me loss, I'll accept that also. I'm not going to complain. So this is very beautiful. So, if another interesting thing Prabhupada says in the purport, he says it doesn't matter what your material position is. You may say कि हाँ ये तो हरे कृष्णा वाले, ये तो बहुत they are very advanced. I am तो very ordinary, मैं तो अभी आया, मेरे को कुछ पता नहीं. It doesn't matter what your position is. It doesn't matter what your whether you're very well off or you're very very poor, impoverished. It doesn't matter what your varna is. It doesn't matter what your ashram is. अरे I am गृहस्थ, मैं थोड़ी अपने आप को perfect कर सकते हैं. No, nothing like that. Whatever your varna, whatever your ashram, you can perfect your life by simply performing a duty for Krishna under the guidance of bona fide guru. We can please the Lord. तो भक्ति तो वहीं से शुरू हो जाता है. Just doing your duty. Is that difficult for us to do? No. All of us can do our duty properly. We just need to be aware what is my duty, and I will do this duty sincerely. That is all I need to worry about. If I do my duty sincerely, if I do my duty honestly, yeah, Krishna will be pleased. Another point that Prabhupada makes in that very verse, in the translation itself, it is mentioned that performing one's devotional activities without excessive violence. ये पॉइंट भी वो ट्रांसलेशन में है. व्हाट लॉर्ड कपिल देव इज सेइंग, परफॉर्म योर ड्यूटी विदाउट एक्सेसिव violence. So Prabhupada very nicely, you should read this purport 3.29.15. Read this purport because Prabhupada very nicely explains that we should do our duty without excessive violence. Violence, what violence we are doing in our duty? Without making other. Huh? without hurting other sentiments. Okay, what else? What violence that people do? Exploiting of the violence, and violence that we could be doing is what kind of food we are eating. What kind of food we are eating? If we are creating violence with the food we are eating, then that is not desirable. So Prabhupada in the purport explains, he says that sometimes people ask me कि अरे vegetarian violence नहीं करता है क्या? Vegetarian तो plant की तरह violence करता है ना? What about that? There is this whole category of people in this world जो खुद कुछ करेंगे नहीं, but moment someone tells something ना, they'll have the what about this question. What about this? What about that? अरे बाबा तुम पहले कुछ practice करो फिर बात करो. No, they have a what about. So people ask this question. Prabhupada says in the part, people ask me this question. What about vegetarians? Don't they do violence? So Prabhupada explained very nicely that actually in this material world, it is not possible to survive without violence. It is not possible. And he quotes this verse, Upanishadic verse, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. Says that Jivo Jivasya Jivanam means one living entity is the food or the life for another living entity. No one can survive without eating someone else. But the point that is made over here is excessive violence is not required. Excessive violence is not recommended. So over here also Prabhupada quotes from the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in 3rd chapter, Yajna Shishta Tinotanta Muchyante Sarva Kilvishe Mujyate Te Tvagam Papa Ye Pachantyatma Karana. So he says that one becomes free from sinful reaction by eating foodstuff which is offered to Krishna. And one who eats food that is not offered to Krishna verily eats only sin. So whether you are eating vegetarian or vegan or whatever you are eating, if we are eating food that is not offered to Krishna and then eaten, verily we are eating sin only. So Prabhupada makes the point that some violence is going to be there. But how do we counteract that violence? How do we counteract what sin is incurred by eating even vegetarian food? By offering it to Krishna. Now one may say, why not offer meat to Krishna? ये भी सवाल आता, what about that? Somebody may ask that what about question also. So the Acharya has explained that Krishna thankfully has explained what he wants. He doesn't say andam masam. He says patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti ruparatam ashnami prayatatmana. He says if you offer me with love and devotion a fruit, a flower, a leaf or water, I will accept. Ashnami, I will accept it. Right? So that is the introduction to this section. Okay, about what is the practice of devotional service. It starts by us doing our duty and avoiding excessive violence. Okay, then verse 16 to 18. I'm going to read these verses because they are very beautiful. We should read it. Yeah. So text 16, okay. Text 15, text 15 which we just now read, a devotee must execute his prescribed duties which are glorious, without material profit, without excessive violence. One must regularly perform one's devotional activities. On text 16, 16, 17 and 18, a description is given of the activities of bhakti. What are the activities, okay? Text 16. The devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. Text 17. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals, but all his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of senses. And text 18, a devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy names of the Lord. His behavior should always be straightforward and simple. And although he is not envious but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. So in these three verses, he has very beautifully described, Lord Kapil Dev has very beautifully described what are the different activities, okay, that a devotee should be performing. So we will try to discuss some of these from the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, because it's very detailed. इसका एक point पे एक lecture हो सकता है, but we will try and see how much we can cover. So the first one, okay, is the association of Vaishnavas. It is not given in that order in the verse that he has spoken. I am putting it in this order because I believe the Shuruvat is always Vaishnav Sangh. When we come in the association of devotees, that is where our bhakti starts. That is how our bhakti continues. And that is how our bhakti will reach final destination. Association of devotees is like practically the road on which we can practice bhakti. अगर भक्तों का संग नहीं है तो भक्ति मुमकिन ही नहीं है. It is not possible for one to practice bhakti alone. It's not possible. We may feel that I am very good. मैं बहुत अच्छा करता है. I chant very nicely. I am a very sincere devotee. We may feel that way, but it doesn't work like that. Well, if we are on our own, let me ask the audience. Okay, why is it said? Srila Prabhupada uses very strong words. He says that if one thinks that one can make progress in bhakti in isolation from devotees, मतलब अकेले, एकांत की हरे भक्ति. If one thinks that one can remain a devotee or become a devotee without association of devotees, he is insane. Insane समझते हैं सब लोग. Insane मतलब पागल ही है, क्या बकवास कर रहा है टाइप्स, है ना? So Prabhupada is making a very powerful statement like this. Why is he saying this? Anybody? Any thoughts? Why is he saying like this?
It's like strong current में जरा straw का एक factor है. Single straw है तो बह जाएगा, थोड़ा रहेगा तो at least it is resistant.
Okay. Okay. It gives you the power. The association of devotees gives you the power to fight against the strong current of Maya. Okay. What else? Why association is so important? हाँ, हम लोग तो ऐसे कोई दूध के धुले हुए तो है नहीं. ऐसे नहीं कि हम लोग ऑलरेडी बहुत शुद्ध थे मन के, कोई अनर्थ नहीं था, बस भक्ति के कनेक्शन में आ गए हो क्या, अभी तो भक्त बन गए. नहीं, हमारे हृदय में तो कूट कूट के अनर्थ भरे हुए, ऐसे दबा दबा के, ऐसा stuffed inside. So we will make mistakes. Who will correct us? कौन कान पकड़ के लाएगा, प्रभु जी किधर हो, दिखते नहीं हो आजकल, मंदिर में आते नहीं हो, कहाँ हो? कोई तो पूछेगा ना. If devotees are there, they will ask. If you are not in association devotees, who's going to ask? No one can ask. Yeah, what else? Why is association given so much importance?
It inspires us. Seeing others in bhakti, it inspires us.
Yes, Mataji.
We
Yes.
get inspiration by seeing others.
We get inspiration. Somebody just said we get inspiration by seeing others. Just by looking at another person chanting enthusiastically. I have said this before. There was once in a temple I had gone, and there was some boy, maybe his age, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, is sitting with a nice tilak, and he had a nice long shikha, nice long shikha. And he was sitting with his hand in the beanbag and he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. And when he was chanting, his shikha was going like this. A very attractive sight. Now, वो छोटा बच्चा ऐसा innocently, intensely chant कर रहा है. वो देख के ना हमको ऐसे बहुत शर्म आते है. Shame. अरे इतना छोटा बच्चा इतने अच्छे से जपा कर सकता है. Just by seeing. we feel inspired. So yes, just to get the inspiration to continue or to progress in bhakti, we need association of good devotees. Yeah, Mataji, you saying something. Yeah. So Mataji is saying that the path is not difficult. I think path is very simple. It's very easy. It's very easy in one sense, but it's not simple. It's easy but not simple. And to remain on that path, उस path पे डटे रहना, टिके रहना बहुत difficult है, because everyone is pulling you out. Your husband, your wife, your children, your office colleagues, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, सब लोग आपको अलग है, वो किसी की जरूरत नहीं, यही आपको ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में खींचते रहता है। और किसी की क्या जरूरत है, एक फोन ही बस है अपने को भक्ति के पाथ से लेके जाने के लिए। सो इट इज सो इजी टू बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड इन एज ऑफ कली, so easy, we don't have to make any effort. बैठे बैठे अपने को distraction is served up on our phone, every few seconds one notification will come, क्या किसी की और की जरूरत है। So we need association, stay on the path, to have the conviction कि यार इतने 150 लोग बेवकूफ नहीं है यार, मैं उनके पीछे चलूंगा, I'll go behind them like that. Yeah. Yes, Ishwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It makes us humble. We learn humility also.
We learn humility. Prabhuji is saying we learn humility in the association of devotees. Otherwise, outside world में लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, सब लोग ऐसा कॉलर दिखाते हैं, सब लोग ये पता है क्या मैं कौन है, ये कौन से कॉलेज से एमबीए किया मालूम है, आई एम अहमदाबाद। तूने कहाँ से किया, यू नो, ये जो सवाल पूछने हैं कहाँ से एमबीए किया, वो जनरली जिसने अच्छे कॉलेज से किया है वही ये सवाल पूछते हैं, where you did your MBA from? You know, they ask because they want to feel superior, right? Whole world, outside world is all about false pride, showing the world how great you are. सारी दुनिया उसी पे टिकी हुई। But in devotees, it is the exact opposite. We are trying to establish a sangha of people who are all staying humble. कोई भी वो position नहीं ले रहा कि मैं great हूँ। Everyone wants to say, no, Prabhu, you are great. I am nobody. I am just a reflection of my Guru's grace. We are taught to be humble in association of devotees. So every element of bhakti we cannot receive without association of devotees. भक्तों का संग नहीं है तो खोखला है आपका भक्ति, रहेगा अच्छा but वो नहीं टिकेगा, it will not stay because the influence of Kali is so strong that we will lose it. So association of bhakti of devotees is the first. Vaishnava association, very very important. If we are serious, see, if we are not serious, I am in it for the lecture, I am in it for the kirtan. मेरे को कीर्तन अच्छा लगता है, मैं आके इधर थोड़ा कीर्तन 5-10 मिनट सुन के अच्छा लगता है। यहाँ पे प्रसाद बहुत अच्छा मिलता है, एचपीसी का प्रसाद मिलता है हाई क्वालिटी, यहाँ पे आके प्रसाद खाना है। If you are in it for that, we are in it for that. That's okay. उसमें कोई dishonorable नहीं है, by the way. If you come just for प्रसाद, completely acceptable. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है हम लोगों को, बहुत खुश है, प्रसाद के लिए आओ, दिक्कत ही नहीं है, प्रसाद लो और जाओ, no problem. But if we are serious about bhakti, we have to take association of Vaishnava. Second point that he speaks about is respecting holy teachers, acharyo upasanam. Respecting holy teachers, meaning what? That one must worship a spiritual master. If we are serious about bhakti, in the Gita itself, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. So he says that one must take shelter of a spiritual master and serve him. Without that, we cannot make progress in the path of bhakti. Guru तो चाहिए, ये भी important aspect. See, there are 100 things. वैसे भक्ति में देखा जाए तो एक दो ही चीज है, और देखा जाए तो 100 चीज है. But essential वाले जो है यहाँ पे उन्होंने mention किए हैं. So, why do we need a guru? गुरु का क्या जरूरत है? कर रहे, आपने बोला एसोसिएशन, हाँ तो गए एसोसिएशन में आके यहाँ हरि कथा सुन रहे, सब कर तो रहे, अभी गुरु कहाँ से आ गए? नया एलिमेंट ऐड कर दिया। व्हाई डू वी नीड गुरु? एनीबॉडी? devotee is also showing the path. परंपरा, why we need to correct with परंपरा? परंपरा में ऐसा क्या बड़ी बात है जो परंपरा के साथ कनेक्ट कर? Okay, he is the transparent via media who is giving you the who is giving the access to the parampara. So what? Guru gives you the correct direction. Okay, okay. Any other thoughts? Why do we need Guru? See, for example, you may always have a shiksha guru who is giving shiksha. वो आपको बता रहा है, शास्त्र का समझा रहा है, पाठ पढ़ा रहा है, सब कर, उसके ऊपर दीक्षा वाला गुरु का क्या जरूरत है? क्या?
Someone wants to achieve perfection in anything.
Yes.
To be approached material world. So suppose someone is very much expert in particular thing.
Yes.
We ask him, okay, I want to learn this, to work under your guidance. You conduct meditation.
Yes.
So just like that, Shri Gurudev is the direct expansion of Krishna only. And
Yes.
he is giving us the way. So the way he has learned from
Practiced
his
himself.
master, he is,
Yeah. So, any other thoughts? Very nice. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Nobody else can take that. शिक्षा गुरु पे जाके बोलो प्रभु I am taking shelter of you, please take me back to God. शिक्षा गुरु बोलेगा हरे कृष्णा, आप जाके किसी गुरु को पकड़ लो, मैं उसके लायक नहीं हूँ. But Diksha Guru is taking responsibility for the disciple to ensure that they go back to Godhead, get out of cycle of birth and death and go back to Godhead. वो कोई और नहीं कर सकता. कोई भी और नहीं कर सकता. Yes. So Guru, respecting spiritual master and worshipping spiritual master every day in our parampara, we start the day with samsara dava. We glorify Guru. Then after that we do various things. Narsingh Aarti, Tulsi Aarti. Then we chant. Chetodar Pranam, Arjanam, 10 offenses. Then we chant for whatever 1.5 to 2 hours. उसके बाद श्रृंगार आरती एंड देन अगेन गुरु पूजा. दो टाइम एक ही मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम में 2 बार गुरु को ग्लोरीफाई, थोड़ा ज्यादा नहीं हो गया? इतना क्या गुरु को ग्लोरीफाई करने का? इट्स अ बिग डील. क्या लगता है आप लोग को? सुबह एक बार हो गया 5 बजे, वापस 7:45 बजे फिर से गुरु पूजा. क्या 2 टाइम? गुरु क्या इनसिक्योर है कि गुरु को जरूरत है सबका? व्हाट डू यू फील? हाँ,
Yasya
okay.
prasada bhagavad prasad.
But God you cannot see. Okay. Any other thoughts?
Prabhuji, yasya prasadat bhagavad prasad.
Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. Prabhuji is saying that if you please Guru, yasya prasadat. So then in this Guru Puja we sing yes, not Prabhuji, in the morning Mangala. We sing yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. Yasya aprasadat न गति कुतोभी. हम लोग ये सुबह इनको मंगल आरती गाने का आदत है, लोग ये गाते रहेंगे, पता नहीं इसका मीनिंग जानते हैं कि नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत लोग इसको मेमोराइज करके गाते हैं. इसका मीनिंग बहुत भारी है, वेरी हैवी मीनिंग. इट सेज यस्य प्रसादा, बाय हिज मर्सी. यस्य प्रसादा, बाय हिज मर्सी. यस्य प्रसादा Bhagavad Prasad. By his mercy we can get Krishna's mercy. Only by his mercy we can get Krishna's mercy. Yasya aprasada. Without his mercy, na gati kutopi. कुछ उखाड़ नहीं पाओगे. You need the guidance, you need the blessings, you need the mercy of a spiritual master in order to make serious spiritual progress. We can make spiritual progress even without the guru. ऐसा नहीं है. Even without taking formal diksha, if in our heart we have accepted someone as guru, we can still make spiritual progress. Aisa nahi. But taking diksha is a wonderful, it's a very important, significant step. So here, what is being said is that one should worship a spiritual master who knows things as they are. This is very important. Knows things as they are. मतलब क्या? मतलब उनको क्या? What is what they know? A guru has, because Tadviti Pariprashna says, Upadekshati te jnanam, jnaninas tattva-darshina, because they are tattva-darshina. They know the essence of scripture. This scripture is बहुत गहन है वो. It's very difficult, complicated. To understand scripture, understand what is its practical application in my life is very tough. For common person, it is very difficult to understand. But Guru is able to give you the सार, वो शास्त्र का सार लेके आपको आपके लाइफ के लिए जो चाहिए आपको वही देंगे. He will give you exactly what you need. So शास्त्र में there are millions of verses. Mahabharata has got 1 lakh verses. Ramayana has got 24,000 verses. Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses. Bhagavad Gita has got 700 verses. Vedas have got lakhs of verses. Upanishads तो tens of lakhs of verses. Vedanta तो इतना कुछ है. हमें क्या उसमें से लेके किसके पास उतना हेतु है कि मैं पूरा सब पढ़ के समझ के फिर मैं अप्लाई करेगा. None of us have the bandwidth, the energy, the inclination, the time, anything to do this. Guru gives us the essence. So we should therefore respect the Guru because he gives us the essence of the scripture. He tells us what we should do, what we should not do, how we should do, how we should not do, when we should do, when we should not do. जो clarity नहीं है वही clarity गुरु हमको देते हैं. अभी में से I respect my Guru. पिछले आचार्य अपने what they did, what Prabhupada did is so great. One may get into that group also. We will be very careful that we may feel कि what Prabhupada did. हाँ, उन्होंने कुछ किया. No, really great. Previous आचार्य भक्ति सिद्धांत हाँ उन्होंने भी किया कुछ 64 गौड़िया मठ वगैरह establish किया. उसके पहले उनके गुरु गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी क्या किया उन्होंने? He did much really, But we should understand that each acharya received this great gift of bhakti from their guru and they preserved it and they passed it to the next acharya in the sampradaya without any modification, without उसने अपना value addition कुछ नहीं किया. As it is, the knowledge was passed on from generation to generation to generation to generation, and they have preserved it and kept it alive without any support. So each acharya has had a unique contribution. हम लोग यहाँ जो बैठ के philosophy झाड़ रहे हैं, उसका एक आचार्य का contribution. We can only do this because someone has taken the pain to write down, to preserve, deities were attacked by the Muslim invaders. Those deities were protected. How much they have done? We have no idea. आज हम लोग जाते हैं, we go to Vrindavan, we take darshan of deities. We go to Jaipur to take darshan of Radha Govind Dev, original deities, of Rupa Goswami, one of our acharyas. But that deity, old deity was going to be smashed by Aurangzeb. Radha Govind Dev temple was going to be raised. It was raised. उसको तोड़ दिया वो मंदिर को. But deities को बचा के कोई लेके गया. So we have to recognize the contribution of everybody. One may have contributed in another way, another one may have contributed, but we have to respect the entire acharya ka parampara. Not just that I will respect my guru or not. To understand what is the contribution of everyone. Third aspect is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This is the most important. Okay, I already said association of devotees is the most important. ये भी मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, यस ये भी मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट। भक्ति में वी कैनॉट बी, यू नो, इट इज लाइक, अगर आप, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो हाउ टू कुक? हाउ मेनी नो कुकिंग? क्वाइट अ फ्यू मेन आल्सो। हरे कृष्णा, वेरी नाइस। नाउ अगर आप समझो एक क्या एग्जांपल दूं मैं, सपोज आप एक वो माँ की दाल बना रहे, माँ की दाल पता है सबको? हाँ, खाने में तो सबको आता है, बनाने में बहुत कम लोग को आता होगा, बट माँ की दाल, माँ की दाल में क्या क्या जाता है? उड़द दाल जाता है, राजमा जाता है, हाँ, और फिर क्रीम जाता है, फिर बटर जाता है, बहुत कुछ जाता है। अभी मेरे पास खाली इंग्रेडिएंट है, तो माँ की दाल बनेगी क्या? और क्या चाहिए? प्रोसेस चाहिए, रेसिपी चाहिए। अच्छा रेसिपी है, इंग्रेडिएंट्स है, माँ की दाल बनेगी क्या? और क्या चाहिए? गैस चाहिए, हाँ? अच्छा गैस है, लेकिन और क्या चाहिए? बर्तन भी चाहिए। अच्छा, इंग्रेडिएंट्स है, रेसिपी है, गैस है, बर्तन है, दाल बनेगी क्या? स्किलफुल शेफ भी चाहिए, स्किलफुल शेफ भी है, दाल बनेगी क्या? और क्या चाहिए? टाइम चाहिए, शेफ का इंटेंशन चाहिए कि आज माँ की दाल बनेगी, तब बनेगी ना दाल, में तो कैसे बनेगी? राइट, जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव ऑल द, एंड यू कैन नॉट लीव आउट एनीथिंग। अभी ये जो 6-7 चीज हम लोग ने गिना है, एक पे छोड़ दिया, दाल बनेगी क्या? बनेगी? हाँ, पानी भी चाहिए। सो in all ingredients, recipe, fire, vessel, chef का skill, chef का intention, everything is needed. Then माँ की दाल शायद अच्छे से बनेगी। If you leave out even one of these things, माँ की दाल बनेगी? नहीं बनेगी। उसी तरह से भक्ति में everything is important. Every ingredient that is there is important, but there are some which are very very important. Ingredient नहीं है तो कितना भी intention हो, दाल नहीं बनेगी। So ingredients, basic ingredients यहाँ पे दिए गए। So first and most important ingredient is chanting the holy names, because this is the recommended process for the age of Kali. For the age of Kali, it is mentioned in Kali Santaran Upanishad, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nata Paratarupaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. It is mentioned that this recommended 16 word Iti Shodashakam Namnam, this 16 word Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Kali Kalmash Nashanam, it will destroy the Kalmash of Kali. Nata Paratara Upaya. Now, who is saying this? Brahma is saying this to his son Narada. Nata Paratara Upaya. There is no better way than this. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. This is the essence of all the Vedas. This is the recommended process for the age of Kali. But हम क्या सोचते हैं? I Allah, I know better. I will do something different. अरे अभी रिसेंटली हम लोग सबने, बहुत सारे लोगों ने शायद गणपति का पूजा किया रहेगा। पीपल माइट हैव ब्रॉट गणपति टू देयर होम, दे मे हैव वर्शिप्ड लॉर्ड गणपति, दे मे हैव डन सो मच, किया रहेगा। बट गणपति उपासना के एंड में क्या आता है?
कायेन वाचा मनसेंद्रिय,
हाँ, बोलो क्या है?
कायेन वाचा मनसेंद्रियो बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभाव करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै
नारायण इति समर्पयामि। Ultimately, whatever through my body, words, whatever I have done, नारायण इति समर्पयामि, he is surrendering to नारायण। उसके आगे क्या है? नहीं, अच्युतम केशव राम नारायण, तो वो सब बोलते हैं। एंड देन these are all names of Krishna, अच्युतम केशव राम नारायण, all names of Krishna, and then finally हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम। So even गणपति की उपासना में अल्टीमेटली हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र ही चैंट करते हैं, because this is the recommended process for age of Kali. If we feel कि no, I know better than this, मुझे और पता है, मैं तो बहुत स्मार्ट है, all right, we have to understand. So that is right. That is why we need a guru. उसीलिए हमको गुरु चाहिए, क्योंकि गुरु से हमको कंक्लूसिवली इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती कि नहीं यही करना है। क्यों करना है? इसलिए करना है। तो डाउट नहीं रह जाता है मन में, right? So chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the age of Kali, this is the recommended process of bhakti. If we do this sincerely, automatically we will make progress, because the holy name is not different than Krishna. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. It is described that in the age of Kali, Nama Rupe कृष्णा अवतार, कृष्णा अवतरित हुए हैं इस कलयुग में अपने नाम के रूप में, in the form of his holy name he has incarnated. So when we chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, when we chant the holy names, we are actually associated with Krishna. You know, like yesterday I made a video yesterday in which I was mentioning that any of you, while you're, when you're charging your phone, okay, हम लोग अपना फोन चार्ज करते हैं, कभी कभी फोन चार्जिंग को रखते हैं, and at some point we come back, after half an hour we come back, charged, हट सिंक हो जाता है, फोन चार्ज नहीं है, तो crazy because the phone is not charged. But phone तो चार्जिंग के लिए डाला था, वो डाला था तभी 15% था, अभी वो 5% कैसे हो गया? क्या हुआ रहेगा? What do you think has happened? नहीं, वो चालू किया था, कनेक्शन भी किया था, हाँ, कनेक्शन लूज था। होता है ना, किसी किसी का पुराना चार्जर रहता है या तो वो फोन पुराना रहता है, तो वो चार्ज को डाल के भी वैसा लूज रहता है, वो तो वो ऐसा वो पकड़ के रखते हैं वो लोग की, ऐसा पकड़ के रखते हैं कि चार्ज हो रहा है, वो छोड़ा उड़ते वापस चार्ज, ऐसा वो ऐसा पकड़ के रखते, जैसे कि वो पकड़ के रखने से वो फोन को ऐसा एक सांत्वना मिला कि मैं आपको पकड़ के रखा है, अभी आप चार्ज हो जाओ, ऐसा हम लोग ऐसे पकड़ के रखते हैं उसको, और फिर थोड़ा टाइम छोड़ते हैं, हो रहा है, ये निकल जाते हैं, बट थोड़े टाइम पे वापस आते हैं तो वो चार्ज नहीं, डिस्चार्ज हो गया है, व्हाई? कनेक्शन लूज है। Same way, when we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, if we are not attentive, ध्यान पूर्वक अगर हम लोग जपा नहीं कर रहे, तो क्या होगा? चार्ज नहीं होगा। When we are hearing Hari Katha, if we are not attentive, चार्ज नहीं होगा। When we are in association of devotees, we are not attentive, चार्ज नहीं होगा। एंड देन वी वंडर कि हम तो कितने साल से जपा कर रहे हैं, प्रभु जी हमारा तो कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है, तो उधर की उधर ही है, क्यों उधर की उधर ही है? क्योंकि आपका कनेक्शन लूज है। When we chant Hare Krishna, we should chant with faith, that this is the recommended process. You should chant with attention, invest your time and energy chanting the holy names. We don't invest and then we wonder कि कुछ मिल ही नहीं रहा है, कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है। अरे वो कनेक्शन लूज है भैया, तो आपका आप 2 घंटे जपा माला में हाथ डाल के, फीडबैक में हाथ डाल के बैठे 2 घंटे, वो 2 घंटे आपका ध्यान किस पे था? मोबाइल पे था, बाहर क्या चल रहा है, ये चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है, मेरा ऑफिस में क्या चल रहा है, अरे यार वो आदमी ना, ही डिडंट डिजर्व टू बी प्रमोटेड, उसी का प्रमोशन हो गया, यही चल रहा है। दैट मींस इट इज कनेक्टेड। But if we are connected, if we sincerely, for even once, we sincerely connect with the holy name, closing our eyes, loudly chanting without any other thought in the mind, loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Immediately we get charged. तुरंत हमारा बॉडी चार्ज हो जाता है, हमारा माइंड, हमारा स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ गेट्स चार्ज्ड अप इफ वी कनेक्ट विद द होली नेम। सो हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र, चैंटिंग द होली नेम इज वन ऑफ द एसेंशियल अंग ऑफ भक्ति। बाकी सब कर रहे हो, बस ये एक चीज नहीं हो पा रहा है प्रभु जी। अभी ना जब ऊपर वाले की कृपा मेरे पे बरसेगी, जब ऊपर वाले की कृपा मेरे पे बरसेगी, तब मैं चैंटिंग करूंगी, तब मैं चैंटिंग, मतलब कृष्णा हैज टू कम फ्रंट ऑफ यू पर्सनली and hold your lotus feet, Prabhu, please chant my holy name. This is good for you. जब वो कृपा होगी, I will chant. Till then, no. I'm not ready for it. So if we are thinking like that, we will never make progress. But if we take shelter, we say, all right, I don't have full faith. I don't know whether this works or not. But इतने लोग बोल रहे हैं, इतने टाइम से बोल रहे हैं, बार-बार वही अक्खा टाइम वही बोलते रहते हैं. Try it. And we try it, we immediately get the benefit. Then the next thing that Lord Kapil Dev speaks, friendship amongst devotees. This is a very interesting point. You know, not just association. Association is important. We must take association of devotees, but along with association of devotees, we must also have friendship amongst devotees. Friendship क्यों जरूरी है? Why is friendship needed amongst devotees? Anybody?
Just like friends, relationships. दो friends, close friends मिलेंगे तो तेरा उनका इसलिए वो similarly among the devotees अगर friendship है तो जब वो मिलेंगे तो वो भी वही relish करेंगे. Like
So it is important to make friendship with devotees who are on the same level as we are. जो अपने level के devotees है ना, उनके साथ friendship रखना बहुत जरूरी है. You know why? Because if we have that friendship, that devotee, we discuss amongst each other about bhakti. There is this verse in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, Mat Chitta Mat Gata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Katantasya Mam Nityam, Tushyanti Cha, Ramanti Cha. So it says that what do the devotees of the Lord do? Mat Chitta, Mat Gata Prana. They are discussing Bodhayanta Parasparam. Continuously they are discussing topics of Krishna. So Prabhupada says that making friendship with those on the same level of same understanding, so that by discussing amongst themselves, they can elevate each other. See, if you go to someone who is very junior to you, मतलब आप भक्ति में 20 साल पहले आए और वो पिछले 1-2 साल में आया, तो we tend to look at them कि हाँ ये, and they also look at प्रभु जी आप तो बहुत सीनियर, वो आपको सिर्फ रिस्पेक्ट के नजर से देखते, करेक्ट? Someone who is very senior to you, when they look at you, how do they look at you? They look at you with compassion. Okay, बच्चा ऐसे ही कर रहा है. They don't correct you also. They say, okay, let's give him space. He will learn. सीख जाएगी, माता जी सीख जाएगी, प्रभु जी सीख. We give them space. But someone who is equal, what they will do? क्या प्रभु जी क्या चल रहा है? चैंटिंग के साथ साथ फोन चल रहा है, क्या चल रहा है? It is only equals who can correct you. Who else will correct you? Who else? We need that. And Prabhupada makes an interesting point. He says that for discussion between two like-minded friends, those who are friends of each other, बहुत है discussion करने के लिए. There are scriptures like Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion. Countless subjects are there for discussion between devotees. But these discussions must happen. We only end up discussing कल का मैच देखा कि नहीं, फिर what do you think, मोदी आएगा ये बार कि इंडिया आएगा, महाराष्ट्र के इलेक्शन में कौन जीतेगा, यही डिस्कस कर. निर्मला सीतारमन क्या यूजलेस है ना, क्या बजट में मिडिल क्लास के लिए कुछ नहीं वो. This is all we end up discussing. It is all ग्राम्य कथा, which is not going to help us get out of cycle of birth and death. यहीं पे हमको पैर में से जकड़ के रखेगा ये topics. When we are in the association of devotees, good friends, we can discuss our deepest Krishna conscious challenges. I can tell a friend, I can tell my wife, she is my friend also. I can tell her, यार ये बहुत struggle चल रहा है, I'm not able to chant properly. So she will immediately correct me. तो chanting के time ये सब कर रहे तो कैसा? How you can chant properly? She will correct me, but somebody else will not correct me. So this is the advantage of having a friend in Krishna consciousness, deep friend. Then he speaks about deity worship, that it is important at some point in your spiritual journey, bringing deities into your home and worshipping deities. See, many of us, almost all of us, will have a picture like this of Shishi Radha Gopinath. सबके पास घर पे रहेगा, अच्छी बात है, वेरी गुड, बिकॉज दिस इज ऑल्सो वर्शिपिंग डीटीज, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। पर एक्चुअल जो डीटीज लेके आते हैं, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा या गौर मीता है या राधा कृष्णा, तो थोड़ा टाइम के बाद लाओ, इमीडिएटली मत लाओ, बिकॉज रेडी नहीं हो तो सीधा फाइनल मैच में नहीं खेलना चाहिए, पहला लीग मैच में खेल खेल के ऊपर जाना चाहिए। सो if we have deities at home, when we serve the deity with love and care, it quickly helps us to progress in bhakti. You know why? Because we have this tendency to think that I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor. No, we think that I am so great, I am so wonderful. We feel I am powerful, मैं ही सब कुछ, मेरे लाइफ का मैं ही करता धरता हूँ. I have grown to this position in my career, my effort, मैंने किया. I am deserving of the laurels that I have received. So we feel we are very great. We never lose this controllership mentality. We never lose this enjoyer proprietor mentality. But when we worship deities, every day when you are worshipping deities, you are offering to deities, सब कुछ उनको ऑफर करके ही देते हैं. कहीं ना कहीं माइंड में जाके चिपक जाता है कि नो, actually the Lord is the enjoyer. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram. He's saying in the Gita that I am the enjoyer. But you may be, but I am also enjoyer. We feel that way. But when we worship the Lord, somewhere it sinks in. Then a couple of other things. I'll end with this quickly, and next time we'll discuss what is the result of performing bhakti like this. He speaks about avoiding bad association. What is bad association? For one who is practicing bhakti, he says one must avoid bad association. So now this conversation happening in Satyuga, okay, millions of years back when everything was very pure. But there also he is talking about avoiding bad association. What is bad association in devotion? Anybody? Huh? Anyone in the back there? Bad association क्या है? Person with vices. Okay. What else? What else is bad association? Taking you away from your goal, whatever is your goal. Someone who is ये सब नहीं करने का, ये थोड़ी उम्र है ये सब करने का. हाँ, तुम्हारा मेन चीज है तुम अपना पति का सेवा करो, तुम अपने पत्नी का और फैमिली का सेवा करो, देश की सेवा करो. ये सब भक्ति होती बाद में, जब ऐसे दांत वांत गिरने को आएंगे ना तभी करो. When you are 65, 70, that is the time. That is bad association. Anything that takes you away from bhakti, we should avoid. But I am very strong in my mind. If someone tries to convince me, I नहीं convince होता है, मैं तो okay. What do you think? If someone is mentally very strong, spiritually very strong, can they avoid bad association? Should they also avoid bad association? Huh? Everyone should avoid bad association, but those who are like Prabhupada, they didn't even avoid bad association because they knew if I also avoid them, who will save them? So he didn't avoid, and thankfully, therefore, we are all sitting here, right? But for those of us who are in a neophyte stage, जो एकदम कच्चा नींबू बोलते हैं ना, कच्चा नींबू, तो कच्चा नींबू state है हमारा. So in that state, we should avoid bad association because they may not be able to, we may not be able to convince them that what we are doing is right. But they may, if they are stronger in their vices, if they are stronger in their lack of faith in God, and your faith in God is weak, their lack of faith of God will rub off on you. You will start feeling कि पता नहीं यार ये मेरे को करना चाहिए क्या? Should I do this? Should I not do this? All kinds of doubts. Therefore, avoid bad association. Patience and determination. One shouldn't give up. See, bhakti हम लोग जब शुरू करते हैं, when we start, for some it is very easy. If you are already having little sattva guna inside you, हमको दिखता है वो. I can see it very clearly. In our congregation, there are some people who take to it so fast because they are already in mode of goodness. And some people take their own sweet time. They're in mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Time like that. But whatever happens once you've started, don't ever give up. Just because मैंने try किया, नहीं हुआ यार, मैंने बहुत try किया, नहीं हुआ मेरे से. No, don't give up. You have to understand that we have got this bhakti after millions of lifetimes. So many lifetimes you have been in animal life, elephant life, jackal life, hyena life, bull life. So many lives we have had. So many different kinds. कोई बात नहीं. So many different kinds of lives we have had, and in all these lives we have been trying to do the same thing. We have been trying to enjoy, right? So now finally, when we have received bhakti, we should not give it up for anything. It's the most matchless, precious gift that we could even imagine of receiving. So मिला है तो कभी छोड़ना नहीं है. So Prabhupada says that one who is a devotee has this faith that avashya rakshide Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me. He has this faith that Krishna will surely protect me, and even if that protection doesn't come at the time I want it doesn't come in the way that I want it. But a devotee is very faithful and loyal. कभी नहीं छोड़. You have to be patient, you have to be determined that नहीं चलेगा. I am so contaminated. I have so many lifetimes of sinful activity का इतना career है मेरे पीछे. तो the career of sinful activity वो एक दिन में कैसे जाएगा? एक साल में कैसे जाएगा? 10 साल में भी कैसे जाएगा? It will take time. And I am continuing to perform sinful activity. How will you know? Be patient. And I'll conclude with this finally. Humility. A devotee should not be proud of his acquisitions. Acquisition means what we have received, either material acquisitions or spiritual. Material also, you should not be proud. You should not feel कि मैं देखो कितना पढ़ा लिखा हूँ. I am so educated. I am so intelligent. I am so good looking. I am so smart. I am so rich. I am so powerful. But don't be proud of these things, because these things, they are temporary. They may be with you for some time, and anyway they will not help you in your bhakti. None of them will help you. कोई काम नहीं आएगा, right? We should not be proud of spiritual acquisition. Sometimes we feel, His Holiness Raghunath Swami Maharaj made a very beautiful point on this few days back. He said that if we feel that we deserve what we are receiving, अभी भक्ति में जो हमको मिल रहा है, जो भी मिल रहा है, we are getting some katha, we are getting holy name, we are getting association of devotees, we are getting to hear, all these things. We feel कि I deserve this. He says, if you think you deserve what you have received, that means you have truly not understood the value of what you are receiving. आपको उसका वैल्यू ही समझ में नहीं आया. Like, अगर किसी ने आपके हाथ में एक डायमंड थमा दिया, take this diamond. Suppose this Mataji gets a diamond. Okay, Mataji, take this diamond. Now you see this diamond and say, oh, nice diamond, thank you. And I think I deserved it, Because you don't know that ये diamond कोहिनूर diamond है. आपको लगता है कि ordinary diamond होगा, कुछ 50-60 हजार रुपए का होगा, ठीक है. But someone comes and tells you, मतलब 50-60 हजार का नहीं है वो. अच्छा कितना? 2 लाख का है? नहीं, 2 लाख का भी नहीं है माता जी. कितना? 20 लाख का होगा? नहीं माता जी, 20 लाख का भी नहीं है. तो कितना होगा? 2 करोड़ का? नहीं माता जी, 2 करोड़ का भी नहीं है. कितने का? इसका कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं है. इट इज इनवैल्यूएबल. 200 करोड़ बोलेंगे तो भी कम है इसके लिए, राइट? सो नाउ हाउ यू विल फील लाइक अ फूल. नो, यू फील लाइक अ फूल. अरे क्या मैं कितना अंडर एस्टिमेट किया है इसको, है ना? सो we should understand bhakti is so rare and so invaluable that if we feel that I deserve what I am receiving in bhakti, that means I have not really understood how invaluable this bhakti is. So we should, as a devotee, we should be very humble. हमको बहुत ही नम्र रहना है कि हमें क्या मिल रहा है उसका हमको वैल्यू समझना चाहिए. अगर वैल्यू समझे, we'll be very humble and we realize we're not at all qualified. है ना? So for example, in the same example, if you came to know कि ये 20,000 करोड़ का diamond है, what will you feel कि अरे यार, I'm not qualified to receive this, मुझे क्यों मिला है, right? Same way, bhakti, what we are receiving is so invaluable. If we really understood the value of what we are receiving, Prabhupada says, you don't know who is the person sitting next to you. आपके बाजू में जो व्यक्ति बैठा है, आप जानते नहीं हो, could be a pure devotee. Just that right now they are in a particular situation of life, you know, and they're struggling like you are. They're struggling. अरे ये तो ordinary आदमी है, ये तो ordinary माधवी है, very common person. We don't know who is sitting next to us. We knew what is the value of the person sitting next to us. If we knew the value of this holy name, if we knew the value of this Hari Katha, if we knew the value of association of devotees, if we knew the value of these things, we would be very humble. Just so fortunate to receive. So these are the various ingredients of the. If we have all these things, you know, if we can somehow, and this is not the complete list, but just a few. Vaishnava association, respecting holy teacher, chanting Hare Krishna, friendship amongst devotees, deity worship, avoiding bad association, patience and determination, humility. If we have these jewels, realizing what their value is, we feel very unqualified. No, Baba, I don't deserve this. I'm just so fortunate to have it. So on that note, let us end today's discussion and understand that we are actually receiving something that is invaluable. We just haven't understood the value of what is bhakti. हमको भक्ति लगता है ऐसे कोई sentimental चीज है. When we hear it from the words of the acharyas, when we repeat that, when we hear that, then we start to understand that we really don't understand like that. Okay, let us conclude here. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai. So next time we will continue this discussion next time, where we will talk about what happens when you practice bhakti. Chant. We'll all chant one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Everybody will be receiving beads. Please chant.